How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan, Mark Pagan Jr. Yeah, hope everybody out there is enjoying your day. Hope everybody out there is, raising their awareness, um, living in their spiritual awakening in the light of everything that's going on in this world today. I came to bring you a powerful talk because, not because, but yeah, I've been watching, I watched Joe Rogan Experience with Billy Carson on there and everything that he was talking about. And, I do believe that we're moving into a new age of existence. I do believe that things is shifting around us. For whatever reason, I believe that my experiences, and what happened to me and what's continuing to go on, my whole experience and everything that's going on in my life is somehow tied to that. Um, I really can't explain the things. I mean, I can explain them, but I know there's a deeper understanding and a deeper meaning to exactly what's been happening in my life, what's been going on in a lot of other people's lives, and things that I've been experiencing for a while now. And just going down this rabbit hole of information and discovering, you know, more things about myself, more things about the world, more things about spirituality itself. Um, the texture of everything is changing. The fabric of everything is changing. Everything is different. You know what I mean? Everything is beginning to shift in a way where we're more prone to dive into spiritual things. It's more prevalent. It's more the spiritual is more real than what's physically going on. You know, um, I really can't explain too much what's going on. I'll just let my soul speak. In a way, I'll let my soul speak through me, and that's the only way I can do it. You know, a lot of people just living their regular everyday lives. They'll think thoughts like this or speech like this, conversations like this is crazy, or a person would have to be insane to come to these conceptualizations. I don't know if I said that right, but to conceive these type of things and to fathom these type of things, you would have to have a level of, you know, insanity. But I really don't think you do. I don't think that enough people don't really grasp that or really understand that, you know, the spiritual realm of things is way more prevalent than the physical. Your thoughts and the way you think, everything is shifting. Your mind is shifting. I want to let you know that if you're out there and you're feeling that, there's nothing wrong with you. There's a shift going on, a galactic shift, a global shift, a shift in the way we live. Our climate is shifting every day. Our world is moving around us, and we're on this globe, and we're in this sphere, and you know, everything is bound to change. Everything is, you know, um, to some extent, um, a matter of time. Time changes all things. Men, women, children, we all, grow from that infancy stage, into our adult stage, into our golden years. And it's a life cycle that we go through. So, of course, the environment that we're in is going to experience a life cycle itself. You know, we're not the only ones that's experiencing life cycles and evolution and change. You know, our food is going to change. The way our food tastes is going to change. The plant life is going to change, in the way that it lives, and it takes in carbon dioxide and makes H2O. No, no, hydrogen and everything. It's I'm trying to get my thoughts together because it's a powerful, powerful thing. You know, I've in my situation, I see I'm letting my thoughts really bind together. I'm really, just thinking of my situation and outwardly to the situation that we're all experiencing. And I'm trying to put both together in a way. Okay, put it like this. There's organizations out there who knows about these shifts, who's actually taking part in these shifts happening. You know, they know a lot more than we know. You know, you have people that study the skies and the space limits and the depths of our seas and all of that stuff. So they know about the climate change. They know about um, the global warming that we've been experiencing. They know about the space time diaspora that's changing right now. That's making a shift. They know about um the nature of people that's changing, the spiritual nature of people. They know when you're going to have that spiritual awakening. They know, what year certain things is going to happen because they're looking at a different calendar than the one that me and you have. They know that there are higher beings out there, and not merely because they hear about it or they got evidence of it or they got a spacecraft in their area 51 bunker somewhere, hidden away. They know this because they're in direct contact with those other beings, and those other beings are there either to guide or to um prolong. I don't want to say prolong, in a way. They don't want your reality changing so drastically so fast, because your shift is one of gradualness. Your shift has to be gentle, or otherwise it could destroy you. Your shift in your reality and your perception and the things that you believe and the things that you see on a daily basis, it has to be one that's gradually done. Otherwise, your brain can't handle it. Some people minds really can't handle the shift that's going on right now. Some people bodies can't handle the shift that's going on right now. Some people um, might experience trauma in a lot of different ways. Depression. Some people might have thoughts of, suicide and depression and thoughts of anger and rage and things like that because of this shift, this change that's happening. It's not being It's not something that's only happening to you, though. It's happening to many people. Many people from many walks of life are all experiencing the same shift and the same change. And for some others, it's hitting harder than than a lot of others. You know what I mean? Because when it's so evident, even that gentle, even the most minute shift in your perception or your reality, um, if you pay attention to it, it won't seem so, gentle, or it won't seem so gradual. You know what I mean? It'll seem rather harsh and abrupt to your life just to have something change, like far as your spiritual awakening, far as your physicality, far as your mental and the things that you think on a daily basis. Some people can't handle that type of shift. You know what I mean? But in the midst of that shift happening, you're still trying to maintain who you were and continue with the status quo. But really, things are different. Things are changing all around you. You're changing. You're changing in the midst of change. You're changing, and you're changing, and that change comes with a certain level of adversity, a certain level of, you know um counterbalance happening. You know what I mean? So far, you've built your life up to be balanced in the way that you deem fit. It's balanced. You know what I mean? You've put yourself in a pattern, a cycle. You know what I mean? That is like when something changes that, when something alters that balance, or that, that duality that you came up with in your mind, which you deem to be right and, moral, your moral compass shift, or your values and the things that you believed were once true, when you're thrown, when that foundation is shaken, when that foundation is broken down, not because of anything and any of your own doings. You know what I mean? It's a process that happens that could really alter the way you think, the way you see things, the way you perceive the reality that we're living in. You know, um, everything is finicky. Everything is finicky. Everything is subject to a level of scrutiny, a level of change due to time, due to weather, climate change, atmosphere, and all of that stuff. It's like situations happen, situations come and they go. The things that's everlasting is the impressions that they have on you. You know, when you go through these situations, when you go through these different changes in life, when you have these awakenings and you have these, thoughts, these different thought patterns, when you feel different things in your spirit, when you feel different things physically, you know, altering your reality, they can have a diverse effect on all of us. Um, each one of us has a different effect. It'll have a different effect on each of us. Going through these shifts and these changes that all of us are, you know, bound to go through in our lives. You have to try to maintain, you know, an open mind. As long as you're maintaining an open mind, as long as you can have clear, concise thoughts about what's going on at all times. Any change that come about, your body, your mind, your soul can handle it. You just have to rise to the occasion. You know what I mean? You have to rise to that, place where you understand that things are going to change. Things are bound to change. Things are different now, not just for you. As a collective, things are different. As a whole, we're all going through a shift, and as a whole, we have to get through whatever changes that society is going through in our personal life. You know what I mean? In our individuality. Within the confines of whatever state we living in. I just my thing is this: while we're changing, the power structure should change as well, i.e., the government, i.e., the people who hold power over us, the people who make our laws and statutes, our politicians, um, our secret organizations, our you know, the different infrastructures that basically governs over us. They have to change and adapt as well. And my hopes is that their change is not for the betterment of them and for the worse for us. You know what I mean? I don't want to see a change where, and it, to be honest, in my situation, in my personal situation, um, to be honest with you, I reach out to different organizations about what's going on, different field offices about what's going on in my personal life, and what happened to me in my personal life. Um, and it's like I still haven't been rectified or made whole. So I'm hoping that they can do more for people. You know what I mean? Because we all are human beings. We all are here living this life. You know what I mean? My life is my life, though. We still have that within our society. We still have a level of individuality where we all live the way we live. We all play the way we play. We all grow the way we grow. We all have our different belief systems, our own spiritualities, our own religions, our own morals and values, the ethics that we stand on. Um, that being said, my theocracy may be different from your theocracy. What I believe governs me. What I believe in my heart to be true and evident may not be the same things that's true and evident to you. How do they adapt to that? Because right now, the laws and statutes that's placed upon us, the governing laws and statutes that's placed upon us, it seems like it's one size fit all. When everybody's belief system, everybody political views, everybody's spiritual views, everybody mentality isn't the same. So how can you have a one size fit all governing system, law making system for everybody? We really have to turn back to the folklore laws that we all had, where as long as I'm not impeding on your progress and you're not impeding on mine, as long as I'm not hurting nobody or or trying to steal from nobody or have control of anybody, you know, as long as I'm abiding by the natural laws, the old folklore laws of nature and nurture and things like that, not political, and governing laws that governs over all of us. I should have the right to protect myself. I should have the right to defend what I believe is true and evident. I should have the right to live my life according to how I want to live my life. And everybody out there should have these same rights endowed to them. You know, and at a time and play at this time, at this moment in time, it seems like, you know, the change has to be political. Just like it's individual, the change has to be political. Our government has to change in the way they deal with people, the way they deal with situations. Um, the power structure has to change. The laws and everything has to change on how they deal with people. I mean, when I look at the LGBTQ movement, and I look at the way that they, you know, make different rights and laws and the way we got to say his and her and binary and this and that, because you have people living their lives differently. You have different sets of people who want to change their genders, who want to change their sex, who want to change into something else and cross genders and cross the way that they live and you know what I mean. You have to keep up with the way that people want to live their life. You have to keep up with the way that people's spirituality is going. It's not just one size fit all. Everybody has a different belief. Everybody has a different belief system. Everybody has something that's true and evident to them. It may be different or slightly skewed from what you believe as a person, but that don't give you the right to impose or impend laws and statutes on them just because they're different, just because they live life differently, especially if they haven't hurt anybody, especially if they done nothing wrong. You know what I mean? It's up to you to find your own truth. When you're investigating yourself, your surroundings, your circumstance, your life, the things that's going on in your life, the things that's going on within your family life, the things that's going on within your heart and soul, you know, once you come to a certain hypothesis or certain belief about your life, I believe that it's your right, it's your inherent right to be heard out. Because some of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions and those beliefs are not even coming from you. They're coming from somewhere else. They're coming from a different plane of existence or a different plane of living or some type of information that's embedded in you that I believe that they already tapped into, and they'll understand exactly what we're talking about and what we're feeling and what we're going through. But they'll put a guise over it. They'll act like they don't understand where you're coming from. They'll act like they don't understand what you're going through or what you're feeling or what you believe. When none of this is old news. You know what I mean? All of this is, it's been thought before. There's nothing really new right now under the sun, far as belief systems, far as personality, far as, you know, the way people want to live. Everything is recycled. So if I'm having these thoughts and feelings now, there was a time before when people had these same thoughts and feelings, same emotions, same spiritual awakening, same mental awakening, same, you know, reality shift in a way. And for a government or a political party or, you know, governing system like the laws and statutes, for them to not change or them to not um, really recognize that there's a shift in humanity, there's a shift in our personalities, our everyday living, there's a shift. If they don't recognize that, then they're doing you a huge disservice. They're doing you a huge injustice. Anytime that a person is allowed to go through numerous amounts of shit that's like really like mind boggling and hard to deal with and things like that, and they don't offer you any type of help. These government systems, these, you know, supposed to be law abiding systems, don't offer you any type of help or any type of rectification on what you're dealing with in your everyday life. It's appalling. I mean, I look at it like, what is the laws there for if we can't be protected and feel safe and feel like we're justified within the confines of these laws and these statutes that you place upon us? You know, at that point, it's a societal breakdown to me. You know, I do believe that there's going to come a time where, you know, people are going to realize that people are going to realize that these laws and statutes and things that's there, that's passed down from the government, from the politicians and things like that, they're not really to help you. They're there to enslave you. You know, and that's the part that really fucks me up, because it's like, yeah, you have a level of freedom. Yeah, you're allowed to live life as long as you're living that life according to the laws, statutes, and commandments given to you by another man, i.e., the government. As long as you're living your life according to their rules, you're fine. But the moment that those rules change for them, but you don't change the way you living and the way and the things that you're doing, now you're illegal. You know what I mean? Now you're living outside of the law, and I don't think that that's right. If you're accustomed to living a certain way, then you should be allowed to live that way, especially if it was deemed to be right to live that way once before. Now that we're shifting, now that we're having a spiritual awakening, long now that we're going through a shift in the world is shifting. The world is different. You know, everything is different. The physical, the mental, and the spiritual is changing. I think that those laws, statutes, and you know, justice system should change as well. They have to change with it. You know, they have to change the way that they deal with people, the things that they do to people, the things that they allow to happen to people. You know what I mean? And it's bigger than just that. It's bigger than just that. You know what I mean? I've personally experienced people just being able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, why do they get to do this to people? Why do they get a level of inimitability to just run around and do whatever the fuck they want to people? It's because that they're put in place, they're appointed to do that, almost a diplomatic immunity to fuck with anybody, because they help keep these laws in place. They help regulate these laws and keep them in place, and keep people um, stagnant and stupid in a way, and keep people on the downfall, and keep people in turmoil. And if they don't want you to awaken, to meet up with your higher self, to that point where you realizing who you are, and what this is all about, they can come in and be a disruptor in your life. You have many disruptors in your life. You have people that's just placed there to be a disruptor, and that disruption can be activated at any time. Once you notice, or once you feel that shift in yourself, then these people activate, and they become a disruptor in your life. You know what I mean? Most people don't want to become a disruptor. Most people, it's the Agent Smith syndrome, where a person will be all fine and dandy, you know, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, maybe years or decades, and then out of nowhere, when you notice yourself start to, you know, um, elevate or grow, or come to some understanding of who you are, they start to change. They start to change on you, and it's not a change that you could see. You could see it in their demeanor and their character and the things that they do to you, but it's not like they'll have a face swap or something. They'll look different. No, they'll look just the same, except they're acting different towards you. It's a different dynamic to their personality, to the character that you knew at one point. And that shift is happening with a lot of people. I noticed it very abruptly and very quickly, because that shift happened to me with my entire family, with community that I trusted, with friends that I trusted. And it happened so like rapidly. It was like a shock to the fucking system. I didn't know where I would be at after this, after all of this stuff happened. And I'm still in the midst of this situation. You know what I mean? I do believe they just letting everything die down so they could just, hope, I guess, in hopes that I forget about what I went through, in hopes that I just, you know, um, carry on and continue on with the status quo. But with a disruption in your life like that, where you notice that a shift happened with everybody that you ever had accounts with, or not everybody. It's very few people that remain the same. But when you notice that shift happened, when you notice that people just change on you, and people just flip in the blink of an eye like that, or maybe it was a calculated shift. It's like, wow, you know, it's done so abrupt. It throws ripples in the very fabric of how you live, and how you think about different situations, how you think about people in society, how you think about justice and truth. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, it's a shock to the system, but these things happen, and they happen because they happen in a way where you're forced to deal with it. You're forced to deal with it in your way, in your natural, whatever comes natural to you, you're forced to deal with it in that way. But while you're dealing with things in your way, you still got to abide by these laws, statutes, and the governance system that's in place. You still got these people that's holding you to. It's like, for example, say you lose a job, the bill collectors don't care. They still want to hold you to pay them same bills and everything as if you still have that job. But you don't have that job no more. You're working totally different. So now you still got to keep up with them bills, and they're on your ass. They like, look, you lost your job, so what? You're going through this, so what? Pay us. Fuck you, pay me. Fuck you, pay me. And that's the type of system that it's like. It's the same thing with justice. It's like, okay, you're going through something. You're going through this change in your life, but we're still going to lock you up for this, and we're still going to hold you accountable for this. And even though you're not guilty of this, we're going to treat you as if you're guilty for this. And it's like, it's a crock of shit. You know what I mean? It's a crock of shit is what it is. It's like, you know, you can't hold people responsible for their lives being thrown and torn apart. You can't hold somebody responsible for someone else's wrongdoings to you. And a lot of times we're being held accountable for people doing us wrong, for situations going wrong in our favor. And then you're held to hold to judgment, to get judged based upon what somebody else did to you, based upon what a situation did to you, based upon negligence, basically, done to you. You know, a lot of us don't get any rectification for the things that go on in our life. You know what I mean? A lot of us are unjustly done by a system that's supposed to be just, and we never have justification for that in our life. You know, you're dealing with an unjust system that wants justice. You know, and it's like it's just a slavery system. It's a thing where they want you to keep building up the status quo. They want to keep you doing exactly the things that you've been used to doing. They want you to stay exactly where you are. You know, after a while, they want you to stay exactly the same. They want you to stay that same person. They want you to maintain that personality and that characteristic. I mean, you can't change your personality and who you are, but time can. Time can. A spiritual awakening can. A shift in your reality can change who you are in a lot of ways. And we hope that that changes for the better. We hope that nobody changing for the worst. For the worst. We have faith that people is always elevating and changing to grow and elevate and be better. You know, better people in society, better people to their family, and you know, but it's like the laws don't change for you though. The laws don't change for you, and that if that change came about by somebody fucking with your life or tampering with your life in any type of way, any situation that happened in your life, whether that was a death, whether that was some wrongdoing done to you, whether that was some betrayal, whether that was just some you know, it's like you're never justified for that. You can't get justified for these things. You know, it's I witnessed it. I'm witnessing it now. I'm a guy. I'm a person who went through a lot with his family, man. I've been through a lot with my family, right? And you know, I'm a thinker. So instead of reacting, I rather take my time and think about a situation that's going on. I like to be a problem solver. You know what I mean? I like to do my detective work and figure out how everything ties together. You know, when you're tying everything together and you've tied everything together and you figured shit out and you reach out to these same organizations, these same law giving organizations, right? Like the feds or the CIA to you know, law enforcement and things like that to the best of your ability, right? To the best of my ability, right? In a way that I deem to be right, you know, to get justice, to gain understanding, to gain some type of rectification for the things that I've been through. And you're not granted that justice and you're not granted that rectification, and they just leave you blowing in the wind with all types of different misconceptions, or you know, all types of different fears built up, or all types of different worries on your mind about exactly what's going to happen to you, what's going to happen to your family, what's going to happen in life, whether cops are going to come for you, whether you know, whether somebody else is going to come for you, what's you know, who I'm going to talk to about this, who I'm going to, you know, who's going to deal with me, can I trust these new people that I'm dealing with, um, can I trust a law enforcement officer when they say, hey, Can we go down here and have a conversation and have an interview and all this type of stuff? Can you really trust those type of people? You know, it's like you're thrown through this loop and you don't know who you could trust. You don't know if you could trust the law. You don't know if you could trust your neighbor. You don't know if you could trust your family, your friends. You don't know who you could trust, your spouse, your lover, whoever it is. It's like you really don't know anymore. And that's the breakdown of everything. It's like the breakdown of everything is just in society, in today's society. It's like anytime that you're going unjustified with anything, when you feel like you're right about it, when you feel like you deserve to be made whole, when you deserve to have rectification, when you deserve an explanation for whatever happened in your life, and you're not granted that, you feel like, where's our law system at? Where is the law when the law was needed by you? But when it comes to them and when it comes to their pockets and your payment and their status quo, they're quick to come throw handcuffs on you. They're quick to come lock you up and throw you in jail for however many fucking years they want to, however they deem it to be right or justify in their light, and their point of view. And it's like, what about my justice? What about my point of view? What about what I believe? What about what I feel as if is right? What about me getting rectification for a situation that I dealt with in my life and continue to deal with now? You're never granted that justice. If you're never granted that justice, it's like, why am I trying to be just in an unjust system? Why would I give justification to a system that never gave me any justification at all? Just take from me and steal from me and connive on me and hide their hand and act like they're doing something for you when they're not. And really is just them using you. And you see this and it's made evident to you that they just using you, that they just stealing from you, that they stole everything from you. It's like, how do you be just to an unjust system, to an unjust system? It's hard to fathom that, a person could go through certain things and still be who they once were and believe the things that they once believed to be true and evident. It's not. It can't be. It's not the same anymore. Once you look for justice and justice is not given, can you really trust justice? Once a change happened, the things that's true before, they might not be so true now. Once you've gone through a situation, that situation may alter the way you think, the way you live, the way you feel, the way you comprehend. You know what I mean? And it's bad when you're not allowed to change. It's bad when your change come with so much scrutiny and so much pain and anguish. It's bad when your change is not accepted, you know, by anybody. It's bad when your change is shunned and looked down upon. You know what I mean? It's That's bad. You know what I mean? Everybody change into what they believe is true. Everybody change when their personalities shift, right? When you change the way you think, the way you live, the way you perceive things, your spiritual beliefs, you know, when you change in that way, you know, there should be a part of this system that changes with you. There should be a part of the system that helps you change. It should be a part of the system that will understand your change. Let me put it that way. There should be a part of this that allows you to change in a healthy, positive, sustainable way. You know what I mean? Whether that's just a change of your thought, whether you want to change professions. Some of us want to change professions, but you know, people won't allow us. You know what I mean? like T.I. when he wanted to do comedy, and how much adversity he had to deal with just trying to change from being a rapper, right, to being a comedian. People mocked him and ridiculed him and everything, and he's a funny guy. He does a great job as a comedian, but he had to deal with that adversity that people wasn't willing to let him change. People didn't want to see him change. He was going to change regardless. If you want to go from one profession to the next, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? And once people seen he was actually funny, they more so accepted him to be a comedian. What about my man Terrence Howard over there doing his thing? Brilliant fucking guy. He changed from being an actor to being a scientist. People don't want to accept that change. So a lot of the scientist community looked at him and mocked him and really ridiculed him and things like that. But you have other scientists and brothers who really look deep into the etymology of us and realize that he's on point and he's right and everything that he's saying is factual. You know what I mean? But you have another part of the scientific community that's refuting the information that he's coming with because it's different from what they believe to be true and evident. You know, it's you know everything is prone to change. The only thing is nowadays they want you to have the financial backing behind your change. Because if I choose to change my professions or my lifestyle or my belief system, if I don't have the means to support or sustain the life I've grown accustomed to while I'm going through this changing process, then I'm deemed to be wrong. I'm deemed to be unfit. I'm deemed to be, a lawbreaker. You know what I mean? A criminal, because I chose to live my life differently, to do different things according to my awakening, my new belief system, the things that I went through that changed my life in general. You know, it's like that fuck you pay me thing all over again. It's like, okay, yeah, you changed. Okay, you don't got that job no more. Okay, you doing something else now? Well, these bills are still due. Well, whatever happened, that's not on us. These bills are still due. You still got insurance to pay. You still got rent due. You still got that car note. You still got your cell phone bill. You still got this and that going on. And it's like, none of that is giving you the time, giving you the space, giving you the empathy to really change and grow into who you are meant to be. Because these spiritual awakenings, these physical changes that happen in your life, these mental changes that happen in your life, you know, it's leading you to something that you were supposed to do, something that you was meant to do. So people shouldn't get in the way of that. There should not be any government system to get in the way of your growth, of your change, of your status in life. If you're changing, if you're becoming something different, that's ordained by a higher power, by your creator. They shouldn't stifle that change. They shouldn't come about and hinder any type of change that's happening in your life. When your shift is happening, your shift should be gradual. Your shift should be supported. Your shift shouldn't come with so much turmoil and so much, you know what I mean? So much interruption, so much abruption, so much uh, pain and strife. You know what I mean? So much. It's like your changes is should be accepted, man. If you're called to do something different with your life, people got to understand that these callings are not just merely, person calling you on the phone and saying, "Hey, man, you know what you'll be good at? You'll be good at this, and that." No, that calling comes from within. That calling comes from your spirit, your soul, your intellectual realm, and you say, I could do this with my life. I'm gonna do this with my life. That calling comes from a higher power. It's your higher self communicating with your lower self here, and that connection that you're making. Nobody should interrupt or intervene in that connection with your higher and lower self. That should be a law. It should be a law for any government, any person, anybody, right? Whether you're the government, whether you're a significant other, whether you're a person in the street, whether you're family, whether you're someone's father, mother, they should not interrupt your connection with your higher self and your lower self meeting, and you coming into the realization of what you were here for, what your path is supposed to be while you're living here on this plane of existence. Nobody should be in the way of that. Nobody should intervene in you changing, because they're uncomfortable with your change. And that's a lot of times that's what it is. It's they're uncomfortable with your change, and your change is abrupt to them, and they still want to get out of you what they've been getting out of you. So your change is unwelcome. Your change is unwanted. But deep within yourself, you know that change has to happen. And that's the part that really fucks me up. You know what I mean? That's the part that really hurts at times. That's the part that, you know, that when you're seen to be different, you know what I mean? That people like, oh, they acting. You ever came into some money or something, out of nowhere, you know what I mean, or income tax time come around or whatever, and you're not a two-faced person. You don't switch up different, but just because you get some money in your pockets or whatever, when you start to dress better, you start to look a little bit better, you're doing better things with your life. Now people that you knew before, interacted before, they got this thing. Oh, they acting different. He acting different. That's only because he got some money, or that's only because she got that new car. That's only because they got them new clothes. Now they want to act like they this shit. Da, 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 da. It's like, why can't I feel like I'm this shit, bitch? Like, why can't I? Why can't you embrace me feeling happy for me? Why can't you embrace me doing good right now, or me being able to do nicer things or different things within my life? You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because the person that's scrutinizing you, they might have exactly what you have. They might have more or less the same exactly thing what you have, and it's like they still don't welcome you having it. They don't want you to have it. It's that level of haterism. It's that level of stagnatism. I know I'm making up a couple words, but it's like, it's an unwelcome change, and it's like, why is it unwelcome? Because you still want me to need from you. You still want me to be in that same position all my life. You want me to continue to be the person that you see me be, you know what I mean, up to a certain point in my life. You don't want me to change in no type of way. You know what I mean? It's like when I told, friends of mine, about what I wanted to do in my life. And I noticed, like, throughout my whole life, I've been telling people, yo, let's do this. We should do this. I'm going to get on this. And it's like, anytime I tried to really implement those changes or start doing those things, I always had certain people in my life to be like, oh man, don't do that shit. That shit ain't going to happen. Da, 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 yeah. And this and that. And you have people that's just professional skeet shooters for your dreams. Like, they'll just shoot your fucking dreams out the sky. It may be your mother, your dad, your friends, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, but they skeet shoot your dreams, man. And it's like, if you have that vision, or you have that goal, or you want to achieve something in your life, you shouldn't let these people shoot your dreams down. You shouldn't let people tell you what's not possible, what's incapable of you doing, just because they don't want to see you doing something different. You know what I mean? You have to get to the root cause of why they don't want to see you change. Why they don't want to see me do this? Why can't I do that? You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? What's holding you in that place of contentment, not getting what you want done, or feeling less than? You feeling less than because you're not doing ultimately what it is you want to do in your life. And there's so much adversity built up, or so many hurdles built up, and there's a paywall at times to what you want to do in your life. And it's like, You let that discourage you from doing what it is that you want to do with your life. When really you got to push through all of that shit, man. You have to, when you have a goal in mind, when you have a goal in mind, when you have something that you want to reach and that you want to achieve and something that you inspire to do, you got to push past all the scrutiny. You got to push past all the hate. You got to push past all the comments. You got to push past all the, oh, they think they the shit, they doing this and that. No, you got to push past all of that shit. Because all them people want you to do is stay exactly where you at. And sometimes they don't even know why they want you to stay exactly where you at. They don't even know why they never wanted to see you achieve something that you wanted to accomplish with your life. Sometimes it's a higher reason than them just not wanting you to do something or not wanting you to achieve something or not wanting you to get to a certain place in your life. Sometimes it's something above that. Sometimes it's the system. Sometimes it's the system that's put in place, working on them. So in essence, the system working on them is working on you through them, right? You just got to keep on stabbing at it. You just got to keep on doing what you're doing and keep on, growing in the way that you got to grow. Because each of us grows uniquely to us. You know what I mean? Each of our growth and our expansion and our, the way we think, our spirituality, all of that is uniquely to us. You know what I mean? And you can't let anybody hinder that. You can't be hindered by anybody when you're on your mission of growth and change. You know what I mean? And many will try to hinder that. You know, but that's my time. This has been God Concept. You know what I mean? I'll be back at y'all with another episode soon, sooner not later. God willing. You know what I mean? Just keep on pushing through, y'all. Just keep on pushing through. Keep on continuing your growth and your personal journey. Um, you know what I mean? Not too much to be said after that. Enjoy my music, enjoy my books, enjoy this podcast. I'm gonna have some more game streams going up soon, so y'all could, tune in and check out that. I know people like to watch these contracted gameplays and stuff like that, because I like watching them to myself at times. So I just want to cover the whole gamut. You know what I mean? I'm actually a funny dude too. When you get to know me, I'm a real funny, lighthearted dude. But I ain't had no time to really be that funny and lighthearted, if not, with anybody except for, the people I can be lighthearted and funny with. That's i.e. my children, and things like that. Because it's not too much funny in my life right now. Shit ain't funny right now. But I have to maintain my character, maintain who I am and always show a good face for my children and let them know, to let them know that everything's going to be all right at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, yeah. It's Mr. Pagan. Another episode of God Concept in the books. I'm out. Peace.